My name is Boorish. You can call me Bo. Couple things to talk about. Let's start with Kayshon Boutte. Kayshon Boutte was charged with underage gambling and computer fraud, which basically stems from him lying about his age. Those charges were dropped by the state of Louisiana. No word on why, but they were. I mused online about KJ Osborne not making this team. The big reason why was Kayshon Boutte having the charges dropped. To me, Kayshon Boutte has far more upside long term than KJ Osborne. KJ Osborne is just a guy. He's a good locker room presence. He's a good veteran. I like KJ Osborne. I do. Fine player, not a world beater. I think he's in the vein of like a Kendrick Bourne, a good low end number two, maybe a number three. Definitely a veteran presence. Good locker room guy. Guy that understands that Justin Jefferson and Jordan Addison are better than him. So he took a back seat and offered more of a mentorship role. And that's good with a team that has young wide receivers. And those wide receivers include Kayshon Boutte. Boutte was a first round talent. People were talking about him like they were talking about Jamar Chase and Justin Jefferson back when Boutte was at LSU. He had that kind of talent. But he started fucking around. He got in a bunch of trouble. He put his dick in the wrong places. He was gambling illegally. He wasn't a choir boy by any means. I got to give leeway for people to grow up. When evaluating players, we project their athleticism. But you also need to project their mentality. These kids are 19, 20 years old, 21, whatever. They fuck up. Some fuck up worse than others. Most grow out of it. I don't know Kayshon Boutte. I've never been around him. I hope he's learned some lessons. And I hope he sticks around. And I hope he sticks around with us because it would be a fucking nightmare. It would be a nightmare to me if we keep KJ Osborne for the 2024 season. We cut Kayshon Boutte and he goes to like the fucking Chiefs or the Bills. It would kill me if he went to another team and just took off, popped off, turned into that guy. Fuck you. You're fucking cooked, bro. 25 million is the going rate for a wide receiver too. Are you kidding? Like Calvin Ridley, 25 million. It's unsurprising. I knew it was going to get there. That's just economics. As the cap goes up, the dollar amounts go up. But cheap young talent at the wide receiver position, which I think is the number two most valuable position on the offense, between him, Pop, and Javon Baker, they have young, cheap talent. That's incredible. So my thought process is KJ Osborne just isn't that guy. And if Kayshon Boutte can outplay him and he's not suspended by the league, that's an important caveat because the league still can suspend him. If Kayshon Boutte outplays KJ Osborne, it would be fucking stupid. It would be fucking stupid to keep KJ Osborne over Kayshon Boutte. KJ Osborne is on the team for 1 year. He signed for $3.1 million. Like, who cares? The team is going to pay that $3.1 million whether he's on the team or not. It doesn't affect the cap one way or the other. It's 1 year on the books, gone next year regardless. But I'd rather keep the young, cheap talent on the team to see what he can turn into. I'm not saying Kayshon Boutte is going to be fucking Jamar Chase. I'm not saying he's going to be one of these LSU gods. I think he can be legit, though, especially in this proposed offense. Guys that can block, guys that can win routes on their own. This doesn't feel to me like it's going to be an offense where people are schemed open. This feels to me like Win your matchup. Earn your targets. That's what it feels like. It could be wrong. But you need guys that can win matchups and earn targets. Maybe that's Kayshon Boutte. Maybe that's Brandon Aiyuk. Aiyuk is officially requested a trade. I'm fucking all in on Brandon Aiyuk. If the 49ers want to keep him this year, I don't know what he does. I don't know if he sits out. I doubt it. It's a lot of money to give up, but he's going to make $30 million next year, the year after, and the year after, and the year after. So it's a calculation for sure. Probably not a miscalculation. He could fucking sit out all year and I'd still pay him $30 million next year. He might even get more just because the cap will go up. So he may be a beneficiary of another bump in the cap. He might make more than Justin Jefferson if he signs next year rather than this year. I'm just saying. People say the name T. Higgins in the same breath as Brandon Aiyuk. I take issue with that constantly. I think it's fucking absurd, right? So T. Higgins is the beneficiary of Jamar Chase's gravity. Jamar Chase is pulling the safety. Jamar Chase demands double coverage, right? T. Higgins takes advantage of the double coverage that Jamar Chase is getting, right? Does that make sense? Without Jamar Chase pulling two defenders, what does T. Higgins look like? We've seen it. It's not great. It's not terrible, but it's not great, right? Brandon Aiyuk is the opposite of that. One of the reasons the 49ers offense works the way that it does is because Brandon Aiyuk is that gravitational pull. He's the guy demanding safeties over the top. He's the guy opening things up underneath for your Deebo Samuels, for your Christian McCaffreys. There's a reason the 49ers don't want to get rid of him. And there's a reason Cincinnati is probably fine moving on from T. Higgins. Andre Yoshivas, Jermaine Burton. These are guys most people have never heard of, but these are guys that can probably do what T. Higgins does, at least in that offense, where Jamar Chase is pulling all that weight. So there's a difference between Brandon Aiyuk and CeeDee Lamb and T. Higgins, right? Stop with the T. Higgins shit. There's a pretty good chance that Javon Baker or Jalen Polk are better than T. Higgins in 2 years, right? 2026? Would you be surprised if one of the two Patriots rookies is better than T. Higgins? I wouldn't be. You may be, but you need to reevaluate your shit. T. Higgins is just a nice piece. He's one of those high-end wide receiver twos. He probably wants over $30 million, but he's probably more of like the Calvin Ridley $25 million kind of guy, which is good. But that's not the guy that I think we want right now. Give me Aiyuk all day. If I had to put money on it, Aiyuk is a 49er. If I had to place a secondary bet, I would say Aiyuk is a Commander. I'm pretty sure he's trying to shoot his way out of town just to go play with Jaden Daniels. So I'm not getting my hopes up about Aiyuk. I just want to set the table that Aiyuk is the type of guy we should be looking for. Maybe Dallas fucks up the CeeDee Lamb situation. I'd rather CeeDee Lamb than T. Higgins 10 times out of 10, 100 times out of 100. They're not in the same category. I just think odds are the 49ers come to their senses and just pay the guy. I think that's pretty likely at this point. If they do want to trade him, I think they'll give him an option on where he wants to go. Because the leverage he has, the leverage that Aiyuk has, is the contract. If he's not going to sign a contract with a team's not going to trade for him. So no, there's no trade clause type of situation, but Aiyuk has leverage. If he wants to play with Jaden Daniels and catch slot fades in DC, he can get that done. If he's okay just going anywhere that's going to pay him, I think Elliott Wolf might throw his weight around a little bit. We've got the money right now. It's a perfect time because we have all that young receiver talent on rookie deals and a quarterback on rookie deal. Drake May rookie deal, that pays dividends if you can get a guy like Aiyuk in here. He'll make life easier for Jalen Polk. He'll make life easier for Javon Baker, Kendrick Bourne, Pop Douglas, and ultimately Jacoby Brissett and Drake May. We'll have to give up a first round pick, but that's fine. Those things are lottery tickets, through and through. You might fall in love with Tet McMillan or Luther Burden III. It's too early for me to give a shit about that. The beauty of having a rookie quarterback and two rookie wide receivers is when you need to start paying them in 4 to 5 years, that Aiyuk deal is basically done. You can front load it a little bit. So if you need to sign him for 5 years, his 5th year is manageable. And if he whines, you trade him. You get some assets. Because at that point, you're hoping Javon Baker and Jalen Polk are those dudes. And you can pay them $35 million a year, whatever the going rate is. In 2028, when you need to pay all these guys, when you need to pay Drake May $60 million a year. The timing actually is perfect for trading and signing a big contract at wide receiver. That's why I was okay giving Ridley $25 million. But hindsight being what it is, they gave Calvin Ridley $25 million. I doubt Javon Baker's here. And me, personally, give me Javon Baker all day. It's a little mystery boxy, but I like the odds. Fucking love Javon Baker. If you follow me on Twitter, you know I love Javon Baker. And if in 2028 Aiyuk makes a stink about his contract, he's an asset. If you're in the position to pay Javon Baker and you're in the position to pay Jalen Polk, it's because they hit. And you don't need Brandon Aiyuk anymore. Trade the asset. He's gone. At that point, you probably get a 3rd round pick, 4th round pick. I don't see any downside with Brandon Aiyuk. I see a lot of downside with T. Higgins. Like signing T. Higgins or trading for T. Higgins feels like a little like getting Devontae Parker. Maybe not Devontae Parker when we got Devontae Parker, but like still kind of like Devontae Parker. I can't be bothered with that kind of wide receiver. I just want guys that can get open on their own, that can win their route. And that's why I like Javon Baker so much. And that's why I like Brandon Aiyuk so much. Fucking pair the two. Oof. Fucking. They can only be so erect. All right. Okay, I'm done. It's about 8:30 in the morning. I have to go to work. I'll edit this a little bit. And then, yeah, we'll see how this goes. Sorry if this was a little incoherent. It was my first video, but it is what it is. Maybe I'll get better. Maybe I won't. Just shooting the shit. I'll see you on here. I'll see you on Twitter. Take it easy.